Good morning. Welcome to the Driver's Corner. Today we are changing the alternator and the battery in my wife's Range Rover Sport. Stay tuned. So a few weeks ago, my wife's Range Rover Sport started acting up. The light came on the dashboard that said charging system fault or failure, something along those lines. She instantly parked it, and then I had knee surgery, so I didn't get to it. And I was waiting on parts, and they showed up the day I had surgery. So it's been a couple weeks, it's been sitting here, and guess what? The battery's completely dead now. So I checked the voltage right before I ordered the alternator, and it was only showing like 12 volts, 11.97 volts when running, so I knew the alternator was bad. But the battery shouldn't have gone dead because I checked the voltage, turned the car off, and then I was waiting on parts. So sounds like I've probably got a bad battery, or maybe, I don't know if the air suspension system, it's a little bit lower in the back. I had it on the 4-wheel drive setting, like the raised height setting, so that I could get to the alternator easier. And I don't know if maybe the pump system was running and ran the battery down. I don't know what happened there, but I do know that now my battery is completely dead. So I'm gonna put a charge on the battery, I'm gonna remove the battery, and then I am going to take the battery and have it tested to make sure it's actually good while I'm working on the alternator. So battery removal is kind of, seems like a breeze on these. This cover pops off, there's a little tab there and another one on the other side. I'd already done that. You have these kind of quick access posts. So there's one here on the negative, and you should be able to pull that off. And then it's just got a brace across the top side here that I will take out. It looks like that one's smaller than the rest of these. I think these are probably 10 millimeter, so I won't be able to find that tool, but I'm gonna try to find one and I'll be right back. So this is incredibly rare. I found two 10 millimeters. Oh. I was right, that one's smaller. It's probably an 8, maybe a 6. All right, so in theory, it should be just a gentle tug to get this thing to pop out of there. And battery will be out. And I'm gonna put a little bit of a charge on it with my charger. That way, when I take it to the store to have it checked, I could find out whether or not it's good. Now the date on here, I'm assuming this is a date code. That is probably not great. So if it's a 2019 battery, it's now 2021. Batteries don't last at all anymore, and I'm assuming this is probably like a $300 stinking battery. So I'm gonna pull this out and then we'll get working on the alternator. Okay, 08 of 19. It's a platinum. This thing should still be good, but we will see. All right, so I'm trying to find the belt tensioner. There's two belts on this. There's one for the fan, and then the back belt runs the alternator and the air conditioning compressor and all that. So this is our alternator down here. We're going to be reaching this from the bottom and the side in the wheel well there. I believe that this is my tensioner, but like Ray Charles, I can't see anything. So I'm going to go ahead and take the bottom plates off and see if I can get a better view of what needs to happen to get that belt off of the alternator. So under the car, we are going to take off this plastic housing that's in the wheel well. That will get us good access to the bolts on the side of the alternator. And then I'm going to take off, I'm going to see if I can get away with just taking off this plate right here, this front one, because I don't need this one that's covering the rest of it off, although it does have these bolts here. So hopefully I can just take this mini plate off, and that'll give me the access I need along with that one. All right, yeah, so just taking these 2 bolts in the front and the back, it looks like this sucker just slides out. So now we have access to what we need. Oh, what is that? What is that? Something's got some oil on it. I'll look at that later. That's what we're attacking today, is the alternator. So that hurts my feelings, but I'll do that another day. This is where we got to figure out where to get our tensioner loose. I'll be back. All right, follow my hand. This right here, this is the tensioner that we have to, oh, come on. Refocus. Yeah. This right here is where we have to release the tension for the alternator. So this is on the opposite side from where the alternator is. There it is. So it looks like you just put a 3/8 ratchet in there, pull on it, and then that should be able to loosen that. I'm going to take the side cover off first, and then we'll do that. Side cover should be easy, just pushing these little tabs out. Watch me break all of them. I'll get these and then I'll come back. With the side panel out of the way, we have access to the alternator. We're going to take these 2 bolts out. There's another one on the front, and then there's a connector on the back that looks like a real pain in the ass to get to. So let's do that. Okay, so using the ratchet over there, I was able to release the tension off the belt and moved it to the side. So I'm going to go ahead and take the 13 millimeter that you see right there off, and then I'm going to work on the power connectors on the back side of the alternator before I take these bottom 2 out. So with the top bolt over there, I can't get my camera there. Anyway, there's a top bolt up there I just took out. It's a 13 millimeter. This bolt on the top that holds the power cable on is a 13 millimeter as well. You got to be kind of a contortionist to get in there, but come on, flashlight. But yeah, so there's that, and there's gonna be a plug on the end, and then I'll have these 2 on the bottom to get it. All right, so project went off the rails. I broke this, broke the wiring going to this connector, going into the alternator. So I am having to patch it now. Not happy. All right, I crafted a new harness and extension, and we gotta wire this up to the other one. All right, so I have my Denso replacement alternator. This one is exactly the same as the other one that's in there. Plug type's the same. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide this sucker in there. So quick tip, this top bolt on the alternator is way easier to mess with if you're from up top. So my suggestion is the top bolt that runs parallel with the ground, go ahead and do that one from the top. All right, just gotta torque these bottom bolts, and then I'm gonna go ahead and connect the my new fangled adapter from my screw up and the positive wire to the alternator. All right, so power wire's back on, bolts are all torqued, new fangled connector connected, and we are going to get the belt on, and then I have to wait a little while for the battery to charge, and we'll see if this fixed the problem. All right, it's back in. I ordered the vacuum pump. I had to put a new battery in it too, but successful project. All right, so that's it for today. We did the alternator and battery in the 2011 Range Rover Sport. And the next project for that vehicle is going to be the vacuum pump and an oil change, because I definitely have an oil leak down there at the vacuum pump that I want to take care of. As always, appreciate you guys tuning in. Like, subscribe, follow for more videos.